Hi ladies, hi gents. I just want to share a video with you today. A couple of months ago, me and Linecathrin, that's Linecathrin here on YouTube, agreed that we were going to do a swap. So I just want to share with you a couple of projects that I made for her before I wrap them up and get ready to send them off. Excuse me. So the first thing I want to show you is this box. And this is a lace box. So I painted the box cream. I distressed the edges slightly with which ink was it? It was the vintage, no, the walnut stain. And then I covered the box with panels of vintage music paper that I bought in a charity shop. So I've put the music paper all the way around, and I've even put it on the bottom. And then my plan was to just put as much lace on here as possible, because I know how much Linecathrin loves lace. So I used this gorgeous embroidered lace. You can feel the texture of the embroidery on it. It's very pretty. And then I just edged it with this tiny lace at the top. I used it again here across the top of the box. Also used a square doily that is like silk here. And then a couple of layers of the tiny lace just to trim it up. On the top I did use some of the lace down the side, but I also used a couple of doilies. One was a silk one, so this is actually silk under here that I Mod Podged down. And then this gorgeous vintage one here. It's so fragile. And then I wanted to keep it quite simple, so I used a doily and some lace to make this flower, and some smaller doilies in the centre, and a tiny rose for the centre there, and then just some seam binding to give it a bit of texture. So that's the box, and I've kept the inside plain because I am actually going to be putting some stuff on the inside. I have put the vintage music paper inside, because Linecathrin can add or leave as is when she gets it, when she takes the goodies out. So that's the box, and because of the style of the box, I was looking at this little hat that I made, and I thought it matched it so perfectly. I'm actually going to send this to her too, because I just think it matches perfectly. Okay, I'm just going to share the card that I made her. Okay, so I distressed the edges of the card, and again I used the music paper as my background, and then some script paper here. I punched out a border. I used a tilde image as one of the sitting images, and I actually sat her on a chair, and I just coloured her in neutral tones. And again, as the mat, I used the vintage note paper. You can just make it out here. I put a couple of laces behind there, not that much of it's showing now. You can just see it peeping out here and there around. I used one of the Dream tickets, Tim Holtz. One of the Tim Holtz glassine pockets, and I actually just embossed that to give it the texture. which I think turned out quite nicely. And then I just use a mixture of creams and browns and neutral tone roses to decorate this corner, and a couple of burlap leaves here. This is actually a vintage brooch that I added lace to the back of it, just to, that kind of, the weight of it holds the envelope closed. And inside the envelope I have actually made a tag, and I've just stamped a flourish on it and then a couple of sayings on the back. And it just pops in there. And so that's a card I've made for her. I really hope she likes it. I've tried to keep everything quite neutral, and because I know she loves neutral stuff. So I really hope she likes this. Okay, the last thing I made her, excuse me, I need to have a drink. I altered a birdhouse for Linecathrin, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send it in 2 parts so that it doesn't get damaged during shipping. So I'll take that off for now. So, you know I love my candlestick, so this is a candlestick that I found in a charity shop, and I just painted it all cream and distressed it a bit with antique linen distress ink, and then I just added some lace to the base here. There is a bit of lace on this layer here that you can just see peeping through, and then I've added lace around the top of the candlestick. Oh, and there's some here as well. And then I've just decorated it using the neutral tone roses, you know, the browns, creams, and some cherry blossoms in cream, and then some tiny roses at the top. And then I added some of this Prima spray. I just cut a section off and added it. I think that looks really cute. So that's the stand, and like I say, I'm going to package them up separate so they don't get damaged on the way. So this is the birdhouse, and I painted the whole thing cream, and on the roof I used some doily trim that I found at a car boot. And then I edged it in the same tiny lace that I used on the base. I added a corner piece here to the front of the birdhouse just to finish it off. I put these tiny sweetheart blossoms all the way around here just to frame the entrance to the house. Again, I used these Prima sprays either side of it, and then I just decorated around the base again in neutral flowers, and you can see some of the lace peeping through here as well. So just neutral tones all the way. So that's the birdhouse, and that's the stand. So I'll just get ask Linecathrin to attach it so that she can display it, and I really hope she likes it. I really do. So that's my projects that I've made for Linecathrin, and thank you for watching, and I'll